Namaskar. In this video, I would like to talk about what is meditation, what is the science behind meditation, what is the main principle upon which the meditation is based, and consequently also what are the benefits of meditation. And also I would like to attempt to answer the question whether the practice of meditation is really necessary for the present situation of the world, for the present situation of the society. So what is meditation? Meditation is the practice of the mind, the exercise for the mind. Nowadays, many people are becoming aware of the close interconnectedness between subjective and objective worlds. Even in philosophy, even in physics, there is this understanding that subjective reality and objective reality somehow connected. There are 7 billion people on this planet living right now, and lives of all those 7 billion people, sometimes they're world apart, the same world, same planet, but different lives. Because we are living, we are experiencing actually the contents of our mind, which are expressed externally in the external world. So when we work with our mind, when we try to improve our lives, when we try to improve ourselves, there are 2 ways to work. And those ways, actually, in my opinion, they should be balanced. One way to improve yourself, to change yourself, is to try to progress in the external world. Since this interconnectedness exists, then if you change something externally, there will be corresponding change within your mind as well. Similarly, if you change something internally, there will be change in the external world as well. So most of us, we are engaged in the external life, we are getting educated, we are doing our work, we are doing our jobs, we are becoming professionals, we are trying to achieve excellence in our lives. That is all well and good, but why don't we also try to achieve excellence in our lives from other direction, from within, using the meditation practice? And the meditation practice is a very, very direct approach to change your life for the better, engaging the mind itself. You going deeper within your mind and changing yourself from within. What is meditation based upon? What is the principle of meditation? There is the law of the mind. That law states, as you think, so you become. Maybe you have heard this saying that you are what you eat. You are what you eat. What you eat is the food. You eat vegetables, you eat bread, you eat butter. All those foods, they become part of your body. The atoms from the body, from the butter, they become atoms of the body. You eat butter, and those hydrogen, those carbon atoms, they become part of yourself. Similarly, whatever is the food of your mind, whatever is other thoughts of your mind, that becomes part of your personality. Whatever you experienced, whatever you perceived from the external world and internalized it, it becomes part of your personality. As you think, so you become. When you read a book, when you watch a movie, if you have watched the movie and that movie has impressed you, are you still the same person? Or you have become changed? Or you have become a new person? You have become changed. That change may be slight, but that change may change your life. So constantly we are changing, and our personalities are molded by our thinking. So meditation is the process that takes use of this law. As you think, so you become. In meditation, the crude and narrow ideations the crude and narrow ideas are replaced with the subtle and expanded ideas. Meditation is the practice where the mind is getting focused on the idea of consciousness, on the idea of infinite consciousness. That consciousness, now it sounds a bit abstract, because to experience that consciousness is not easy. But when the yogi is experiencing that consciousness, he or she describes that consciousness as the flow, infinite flow of knowledge, infinite flow of love, infinite flow of bliss, and also as an absolute reality of peace. So that type of ideation is taken within the mind. The mind becomes attuned to that ideation. Maybe you have seen when there is a magnet and a piece of iron, if they stay together, the iron acquires the magnetic qualities. So similarly, if you focus your mind on the idea of absolute love, on the idea of bliss, that quality of love and that quality of blissfulness comes within your personality. Even without saying, even without expressing that, you carry that energy. And the people around you start to notice, the people around you start to understand that something within you which is special, something which they don't have. Then they will come up to you and ask, what is it about you? What is your secret? So the main principle of meditation is this: as you think, so you become. So meditation is the process where we replace the crude thinking, narrow thinking, with the expanded thinking. What else? Of course, just to say that we need to replace the crude ideas with the subtle idea is easy, but how to practically do it? For that, we need a practical process of concentration. How to remove darkness? How to remove darkness from the mind? Only by illuminating the inner light. So how to remove the negative thinking? By filling up the mind with the positive ideas. But while you attempt to fill up the mind will jump. Yogis call this mind as a mad monkey. The mind will jump from one object to another. So to succeed with that replacement of the ideation in the mind, you need to practice the concentration. The concentration. So meditation, you can say, this successful meditation means efficient meditation will consist at least of two processes. One is concentration, means narrowing the attention of your mind towards only one thought, one object. And then the more advanced stage is called contemplation. You try to deeply grasp, you try to deeply understand the idea on which you are concentrating. The idea on which you are concentrating. So out of this practice, several benefits are born. One benefit is that concentration practice itself educates you to become a successful person, because you are constantly engaging your mind in one goal, trying to achieve one goal. So that tenacity, that ability to focus on one thing comes because you have the same brain in all situations of life. So that tenacity, that ability to pursue your goals will penetrate in your day-to-day life. You practice it in meditation, and then in day-to-day life it becomes also present. So that is very, very important quality. The winner kind of psychology. I will do something and I will become successful in that. And that is change from within. That psychology is born from within. It is not like externally imposed principle. It is just acquired quality during the practice of meditation. Another thing is that the mind becomes much more calm. And in a calm mind, there will be brighter intellect. The intellect, the clarity of the mind depends on the calmness. And when you sit and calm your mind all the time, then you become like also you will manage your emotions. The emotions will come under your control. That is also a benefit. The anxiety and stress and fear, they are very much diminished during the practice of meditation. And in that calmness, there will be intellectual benefits, means the mind becomes more clear, and there will be intuitional benefits. What is intuition? Within us, there is formless knowledge. It's a very interesting concept, very interesting quality within us. But due to mind is being very restless, we cannot grasp that formless knowledge. All the answers are there within ourselves. Look around, look in this world, look at this progress. We are shooting the rockets in the sky. We are making robots, we are creating artificial intelligence, and so on and so on and so on. Where all this came from? It came from the human mind, from the depths of the human mind. If you calm down your mind and you touch the inner part of yourself, there are all the answers. I have experienced many times when I don't have answers and I focus on the problem and then I let go of that problem and I sit in meditation. All of a sudden, ta-da, the answer has come. So intuition is also very important benefit of meditation. Okay, intellect, intuitional, emotional management, health. Health benefits are due to like psychosomatic disorder getting healed by improving the emotional state of yours. If you have lived in a negative mind and then you start to feel the lightness and brightness of life, then the health disorders also go away if they are due to the psychosomatic. I remember I was kind of negative person before starting practice of meditation. Not negative person, but I would see the world as a dark place, especially the time was not very bright in my country at that time. There was lots of economic problems, there were lots of difficulties, the crime and so on. So I would see the life as a very kind of dark affair. And when I started to practice meditation, all of a sudden, nothing changed externally, but all of a sudden my worldview has changed. And I start to perceive the joy of life. And even in the university, my friends, they would be upset with me. They say, why you smile all the time? There is no reason to smile. And I would say that I have nothing to do with this. I just feel joyful inside. And that is why I smile. So that is also very important benefits. Okay, there are many benefits. Now I would like to talk about whether meditation is necessary in the present life. Look, this society has changed a lot. Our instinct is something different. We, for the million years, we have been evolving in the nature, in the taking the challenges of the physical survival. But now there are challenges of the mind. This civilization, this situation of the planet, it puts lots of pressure on our mind. The mind has to adjust with these changes. Even 20 years ago, the world was completely different when it is now. So, and nowadays, the main challenge is that the society is very material, very materialistic. And you remember this principle, as you think, so you become. The attentions of the individuals are directed towards the matter, the material achievement, the material objects. And as you think, so you become. If your ideation becomes very crude and narrow, then what will happen to the mind? The mind will de-evolve, the mind will degenerate. It will go backwards in the evolution. So, to break through in this situation of the society, in this situation of the world, the mind has to be not only unconsciously, but consciously engaged in the higher ideation. Then the mind will evolve and the mind will get the advantageous position in its environment. we just brought the dog. We are starting some agricultural project here, and we brought the dog in, so it started to live with us, and I have observed the dog. The dog is so dependent on the environment, is so limited, is so devoid of freedom. In comparison with us human beings, we walk freely, we are masters of our own destiny. The dog is completely dependent on us. The dog is completely dependent on the environment. Why? What is the difference? The difference is in advancement of the mind. The dog mind is primitive. Our mind is advanced. So, if you work for the advancement of your mind, then you get more advantageous position in your environment. So, and then if you allow the mind just to flow with the common flow of degeneration, with the common material flow, the mind becomes more simplified, it becomes more primitive, and then finally it becomes more and more dependent on the environment. And that is not our destiny, that is not what we want. So in the present society, I would say meditation becomes almost an absolute necessity. And you will hear it very soon. Within 10-20 years, you will hear it from the leaders of the opinions. You will hear from the media, you will hear from the scientists about the importance of the practice of meditation. Because sooner or later, I believe quite soon, people will realize that this practice is absolutely necessary for today's situation in the society. So this is about it. That's what I wanted to say. Meditation is the practice of the mind. Meditation is based upon the principle, as you think, so you become. So meditation is the replacement of the crude ideas with the subtle and expanded ideas, with the aim to expand the mind, to develop the mind, to catalyze the evolution of the mind. There is a close interrelatedness in between the subjective world and the objective world, and by making change within the mind, by developing the mind, we also changing the external reality of, our lives. And there are numerous benefits of meditation, such as intuitional benefits. Intuition becomes prominent in your life. Intellectual benefits, there will be clarity of the mind. Emotional benefits, you become lighter, you become more joyful. Health benefits, and so on. There are many, about 100 benefits of meditation are there. One time I will present the whole list of those benefits. So, thank you very much for watching this video, and subscribe to our channel, Meditation Steps, and also check out, there is a website, meditationsteps.org. It is the step-by-step tool for learning meditation. Namaskar.